Hey lovies, this is Michelle here at Life Mantra Tarot. I hope that you guys are all doing great on this Thursday evening. Um, Glad to be back. And yeah, so with all that said, um, welcome to the channel. For those of you who are new, who end up bumping into this channel, I hope that you guys decide to stick around. Love that. See what this kind of reading is about and see what the channel is about. A lot of healing and just doing a lot of inner work and stuff like that. With a little dose of, some ratchetness from time to time. So if that's what you're looking for, this is your channel. But nonetheless, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, all that good stuff to help support the channel. There's my baby. Hi. But yes. So, um, yeah, so like I said, if you're new, hit that subscribe button, all that good stuff to help support the channel. And for those of you who have already been rocking with your girl, welcome back and thank you for the continued support. Greatly appreciate it. Making some slight headway with this new year. Got a few new followers and or subscribers rather, and I'm happy about that. This is a little bit loud. It was pretty low and then it went loud all of a sudden. Um, but yeah, so nonetheless, I guess we could kind of get started. Um, as you guys saw in the title, this is about how we can align with our soul's purpose, things that we can know about, like character traits and stuff like that, and career ideals, and things like that that can align with where we're meant to go with that. Because a lot of times our soul purpose also aligns with that 3D aspect of what our career aspirations are as well. So making sure that we find something that's suitable that aligns with that. So with all that said, let's get started. I'm going to start first from by reading from the Uncovering Your Calling deck. I really like this deck. It's very simplistic in a way, but it definitely hits the nail on the head for a lot of people who I've used this deck for, including myself. So I'm going to do some shuffles and a mantra. Spirit, I let positive energy into this reading for the collective. Show the collective what they need to see at this time for their highest good. Clearest and most accurate messages, please and thank you. What does the collective need to see at this time? Now, keep in mind, this is a collective message. So, take the parts that resonate and leave the rest behind. You're not going to resonate with every single part of the reading. So, just whatever does make sense and if you feel suits and fits your narrative, that's always nice to, be able to resonate with the reading in that way. And as messages are coming through, if you guys want to, chat in the chat section. Now, mind you, when I'm locked in, I don't really look up at the the chat too much. But I do watch back sometimes and look over stuff. Also, it's just nice to kind of mingle amongst yourselves in the chat section too. But yeah, a couple more shuffles. You can also hit some reactions, if things are making sense, or hit that like button. All right, so let's see. Spirit says, starting off, you have building things, and that's under the realistic. So I just heard building an empire. That's kind of cool. So some of you guys might be, trying to really build yourself. I just heard like build yourself from the ground up. You might have ran into some things that could have put you back a bit, or might come from a background that kind of, literally just like coming up from the ashes like the phoenix. Like a lot of shit that has happened in your life, especially when it comes to like trying to understand like where you're going with like career and things like that. And they're saying this is a time to rebuild and maybe build something different than what you thought you were going to build before. I'm getting maybe even like starting like a business for some. That is only on the bottom of the deck, but let's see what else comes up. What else does the collective need to know at this time? Clearest and most accurate messages, please, and thank you, Spirit. Ooh. What's this? Getting participation, social. So some of you guys, I'm getting, some of you might be like content creators and stuff like that. Working on building like an audience of some sort. Especially with that building things and then that. So you might be like building like an audience or something like that, starting things. And then I say that for some of you could be starting a business. Um, Enterprising is here. So unfortunately, those of us who know, we know when you're trying to, start a business and stuff, you have to be active on social media. Not all of us want to do that, but they might be kind of hinting that it's going to be time for you to, um, focus on that. We also have giving care. So maybe something in the helping fields and things like that, but it also came out with researching things. So investigative. So you're being called to like kind of do your research in a certain market, maybe when it comes to helping other people, something like that. Interesting. And fixing things realistic. So like remember I said rebuilding yourself from the ground up. There you go. So there's some clarification and confirmations there. So some of you guys really are like trying to just again rebuild yourself at this time, rebuild businesses or start businesses, stuff like that. And you might have to use social media as a way to work on that, to build an audience and get clients and things like that. And I do feel like the people who resonate with this reading are probably people who are going to be like in the helping field of some sort. I'm getting like life coaches. I'm getting psychiatrists and psychologists. I'm getting stuff like that. I'm getting also like direct care. I heard direct care. That one's like stinging my ear a little bit, like in a good way. Like that one's really sticking out like a sore thumb. Like people who really care about others and want to help other people in some kind of way. I'm picking up on something like that for somebody. As I'm wearing my Be Kind, my Be Kind shirt today. For those of you who are already subscribed to the channel, you guys know that I also am a teacher or an assistant teacher. I work with kids with special needs, and I love what I do. And I've always cared about like just doing something that's meaningful for other people. So like even on this channel, like the majority of my messages are going to be geared towards just trying to help each other. How do we take our knowledge and our gifts and help each other and go from there. So we have starting things here again, right? Now it's officially on the spread. Tell us more. Tell us more. Too many. But I did see advancing ideas was one of the cards that was about to try to come out. Um, Tell us a little bit more. Let's get like maybe like four more from here, and then we're gonna get some like messages of like guiding light, like what spirit is kind of calling you to kind of follow within yourself. So like this is giving an idea of like more concrete things, but also like on a spiritual level, like things that you guys could be working on too, or signs to pay attention to and things like that. Translating things, interesting. Investigative. I'm not sure if any of you guys are like, um, some of you guys might get a lot of messages with this one. All right. One of the things I'm picking up on is some of you guys might be like bilingual or speak multiple languages, and that could be something that could be super helpful. I just heard like veteran affairs. I also heard refugee. I like, for instance, I know like when I sometimes look for other jobs, granted I love what I do, but sometimes I'm like working two jobs is a lot. So like I've thought about like case management and stuff like that, but the thing that I'm always missing is stuff like, oh, you know not speaking like a second language or something. I'm like, damn it. So I don't even bother applying, and I just stay where I'm at for now. But I am getting that for some, if that's something that is making sense to you, um you can use that gift that you have of being able to translate as a modality that will actually enhance your overall growth. You can use being able to speak multiple languages as a great gift, and talent on your resumes and things like that, that will, you know, and I heard resumes, not just resume. Like you might have to like revise it a few times for different types of sectors in terms of the type of work you would like to do, to make it, you know, be suitable for those very niche things. Um, but yeah, and also some of you guys, this might be really good at like paying close attention to details, and you know, seeing things like, you know, I'm seeing somebody like with like a magnifying glass, like looking at all the fine print, like really being able to like help people understand what things mean and stuff like that. Interesting. Yeah, putting the pieces together. Here, as I'm saying, I'm seeing a microscope, like look, putting pieces together, really like paying attention. Tell us more. Let's get like 3 more from here, and then we're gonna tap into another deck and see what's going on. The card wanted to come out, but it didn't actually come out, so just keep shuffling. Just keep shuffling. Just keep shuffling. What we got? Aw, that's cute. I like this one. It says bringing joy. So, you know, meaning to like bring joy to the lives of other people. And you know, especially like when we're talking about like being very social, even if you don't necessarily like it, because I don't. Um, but you know, I'm definitely picking up on like influencers and stuff though for some reason. Like people who they have like a message to deliver, and social media is going to be a good way to be able to do that and help like bring like entertainment, joy, happiness to people, make people smile. I'm getting something like that, but you know, like on a bigger level than just content creation, like doing something with it. And you know, like I said, I'm getting like coaches and you know, motivational speakers, writers, authors. Like I'm getting a lot of different stuff going on here. So there's gonna be a lot of different paths that you guys can take depending on, you know, your specific, you know, story and narrative, because you know, everybody's, you know, in different places, right? And that's why, you know, I always make sure I say, just keep in mind this is a collective message. So just, you know, take the messages as they resonate. Helping overcome obstacles. I'm telling you, you guys are like, I'm getting like, oh wow. I'm getting like, I heard beacon of light. Like you guys are going to be like the light, or meant to be like the light in the life of people. Like bringing so much positivity in different ways, and that looks different for everyone, you know. Even some people might like do it in the form of like, I heard food. And Lord knows I love me some food, but like in like positive ways. Like I'm getting like people who might want to start like vegan restaurants or vegetarian restaurants, or just like, you know, like I'm telling you what I'm seeing and hearing. I'm getting people who might do like fusion restaurants, but like, you know, make them very, like I said, I'm getting like very niche things here. Like I could also just be very hungry. That could be it too. But no, I'm serious. Like I really am seeing this. Um, like juice bars and things like that, which is really cool. And I think a lot of people are being a lot more health conscious nowadays. So like some of you might resonate with that message, that little part of the message there. A lot of different things going on. But you know, people who are like having like, you know, health crises and things like that, like how can you help them? Um, so I did mention that I was picking up on like direct care. So it's like working hands on with clients and things like that. Some of you guys might be thinking of doing stuff like that, and just being like a healer and a helper. Wow. Yeah, creating trust is on the bottom of the deck here. Very interesting. Hmm. Okay, a couple more. Thank you, Spirit. Advancing ideas, investigative. So again, I had mentioned earlier, like feeling this energy of like people who are trying to kind of, you know, look into like the market of which that they're interested in, and understanding, you know, the the qualifications and things like that that you might need, and then at the same time being able to advance those ideas and whatnot, so that you can be successful within that, you know, very niche thing, and that field of work. Yeah, giving care. I'm telling you that there's something very, very, very important about that. For those of you who are meant to see this message, that's very, very important, because we got giving care like more than once now. Very interesting though. One more from here, Spirit. This is an interesting one. Resolving disputes. Seems very different from the other stuff here. Doesn't mean that it's not an important message. It's just that might be a little bit more specific for somebody. So I mean, I did mention before, like I'm getting like I did say like life coaches and like psychiatrists, psychologists, and things like that. So some of you guys might even be like thinking of like social work and like being a therapist, and I'm getting like group therapy and stuff like that, helping people, you know, resolve their issues, and helping them on their healing journey. I'm getting something like that. Um, Now that's a very, I know I said the word niche so many times already in a very short period of time. I don't even usually use that word, but I keep hearing it. It's like, you know, it's very specific to you. It's not and tailored, excuse me, to you. It's not like this big broad thing. I feel like there's like emphasis on certain talents and whatnot that fit only certain molds. Like it's not one of those kind of things where like, you know, I heard mass produced. It's not something like, you know, everybody's got it. You know, you either have it or you don't. And not everybody has that type of capability to be able to help people resolve issues like that. So this is very different. Yeah, but thank you, Spirit. Because I'm like, I got kind of lost for words a little bit, and now look what's here, breaking molds. You can't make this, you know, you can't make this up even if you wanted to. Wow. Hey sis, what's up? Thank you for being here. Appreciate you. But yeah, and it makes perfect sense because that's what I was saying. I'm like, this seems very, I kept saying this is very niche. It seems very specific and particular. And then we have breaking molds. Like this is, you know, this is not one of those kind of things where it's like, you know, something that everybody can do. You know, like not for nothing. I'm not demeaning anybody. I'm not, I promise you. Um Many people can, you know, put some food in a Chipotle bowl. Again, I'm not trying to knock anybody. I work at a liquor store. Anybody could do that too. So what I'm what I'm trying to say is, you know, there are those certain jobs that, you know, are kind of like, you know, okay, it's a job, you know what I mean, like the minimum wage jobs and things like that, the stuff that it's not necessarily easy per se, but it doesn't necessarily require like, you know, an education and things like that. And then there's stuff where it's like you have to be, you know, you have to, you know, have experience, you have to get educated and things like that, or at least at the very least have like a lot of, you know, I think experience sometimes trumps education, in my personal opinion. That might not be the case in terms of like HR when it comes to like the hiring process, but I think a lot of us can agree that we know people in the workplace where we're like, how the fuck did they get this job? You know, or how did they get the promotion over me? Like we all can resonate with that, I'm sure. Whereas like there's people who, you know, they come in, they're educated or whatever, but they don't have the experience. And you're just like, how the fuck fuck did I not get that job? You know what I mean? I think we all can agree that we've been through that at some point or another. You know what I mean? So it's like, again, I'm not trying to like, knock anybody if you work like that type of job or anything like that. Cause like I said, I work at a liquor store at my part time. Like, nothing wrong with it. It's just, it doesn't take, much education or anything to do that. So yeah, hopefully I didn't offend anybody by that. People always try to find something wrong with what you say, kind of thing. I'm like, look, I promise you, I'm not trying to insult anybody. Most of my jobs, in fact, were those types of jobs. Like, I'm just saying. Like, hey, welcome to New York and Company. How are you? What size shirt did you need? Oh, don't go fucking up my goddamn pile that I just fucking board folded. That took me fucking 2 hours to fucking do on this big ass fucking table with fucking having to do all these details on it. Like, if you fuck up my table, I'm gonna fucking smack you. But I have to keep a smile on my face. Like come on now. I did it. Okay? I did it. Like, I worked in parking lots in the cold, okay? All summer long at the Bluefish Stadium in Bridgeport. If you know, you know. Okay? Like, like, I promise you, I'm not trying to insult anybody. I'm just being honest because I see the bigger picture. Spirit is like, yes, bigger picture, right? You guys, you see that there's something bigger than what you are, doing currently in your life. And you're like, I know. Hey, blessings. What's up, girl? What's up? Look at my people coming in. I love y'all. But yes, it's like, again, it's like that whole, that there's something bigger, right, than what you're currently doing. And that's why I felt drawn to do this. So it's like, I was laying down, bullshitting around on the couch. I came home. As soon as I came home, I took a shower. I put on my PJs. In fact, I is business on top, like, but not really because it's just one of my regular old smegular t-shirts that I always wear to work. But guess what I have on the bottom? My favorite pants. Everybody knows my Batman pants. I had my pajamas on when I first, came on here, and then I was like, okay, let me at least look halfway decent, put some earrings on, whatever. But the real deal Holyfield right now is I'm chilling, guys. I was like, okay, let me look halfway decent. But now you guys know the secret. I have on my Batman pants, and they're my favorite. Oh, I'm shocked that these still have color to them with all the washing because I wash them so often because I love them so much. They're my favorites. But anyway, I actually have a similar one, but like in fleece, but it's too damn hot. I think I'm going through the change, guys. So like, no, thank you. It's too hot for that shit. Be stripping all my clothes off in the middle of the night. My boyfriend will tell you. He's in the chat right now. But anyway. And look, creating things. I kept on saying earlier, I was getting this energy of creativity, like creating something new. So, I mean, guys, there's definitely an energy of creating something, right? There's, you know, this energy of starting businesses. There's so many things going on here. But the big thing that I was picking up on throughout this reading so far is this wanting to help people, right? And this is the big part, helping overcome obstacles, right? That is the big part. And it's like, wow, how do you help people do that? Because you want to bring people joy, right? And it's like, looking at their situations and circumstances and seeing things from a different angle, a different perspective to help like explain things. What does it all mean, right? Advancing ideas. Sometimes people don't know what it is that they're trying to do. And I was picking up on like cultures. I was picking up on like coaching and coaches. Like I almost like was like combining those two words together. But I'm getting hot all of a sudden. What the fuck? I hate when this happens. It happens every week. I don't know why I even put on an actual shirt. I should have just put on a tank top. I knew I was gonna get hot, but it's fine. I'll be okay. Maybe I could crack the window. I don't know. It's fine. So the next deck that I would like to read from is the Guiding Light deck. And I'm not gonna, go into the whole spiel about it. Or I might, who knows. But this deck, I love the deck itself, but those of you who know. Um, I keep a couple of things in this box because they're meaningful to me, and it just made sense to put them here. Quick little tidbit: I found a feather on my couch, and my girl Allie, I was like, I randomly just found a pristine white um feather on my couch, and I'm like, I don't know where it came from. Like, I don't have like down sheets or blankets or whatever, anything like that would have feathers in it. Everything's got like more like memory foam or something like that. I'm like, where the hell did this come from? It wasn't there before. It wasn't on me. Like, where did it come from? This little feather here. And there's another feather in here too. But yeah, and she was like, your grandfather left that for you. Like, she described what he looked like, and then when I showed her a picture, she was like, this, yeah, that guy. That was my grandfather. I didn't tell her anything. I was like, it's like she was describing how he looked, and then when I showed her a picture, she was like, yeah, it was him. It was my grandfather. So it has a lot of meaning to me. Actually, I kind of wish I would have picked up the feather today, but when I was walking from outside to my house, I saw a feather in the parking lot, and I was like, oh wow. And I just like, I felt connected to it, but I didn't pick it up. I kind of wish I would have picked it up now, because it's one single really really nice feather. But yeah, nonetheless, this deck has a lot of meaning to me. So when I read from this, I always feel very very drawn and connected to it, and I felt drawn and connected to this reading overall. So what I'll do right now is I'm going to shuffle a few times, and then I just see collaboration. I'm gonna shuffle a few times and then pull maybe like 3 to 4 cards from here, and then we're gonna dive into like maybe the tarot portion, and then I do have other cards like gearing towards like more like stuff about the career aspects of things and stuff, and just like some spiritual guidance along the way. And I hope that you guys are resonating with this message. I hope it's making sense. I hope that you're getting something out of it. That is my hope always. I haven't used these in a while, so I just want to make sure they're well shuffled. One more shuffle. I'll probably like, damn, nigga, that's more than just a few. It's more than several too, right? We have true love, but what's in the reverse on the bottom of the deck here? It says, at the core foundation of this relationship is the potential for true love. Now, being that we're talking about like, purpose and like more like career driven things, what I'm kind of, not to say or dismiss that this isn't about actual like love stuff, but we're asking about something a little bit different here. So just reading this intuitively, I'm getting that, like I said, it was in the reverse. Um, there's something that you might have like been really in love with at one point in terms of career that you're no longer in love with. So like, let's say you've been at a job for a long time, right? And you're like, I really thought that I was connected to this fucking place, but or what I was doing, but not anymore. You might have outgrown where you were for a long time, and that's okay. That's a part of development and growth. Like we're not meant to stay stuck in a certain position or company, so on and so forth. Like we're meant to move on and grow. So again, like I said, if you felt for a very long time that you were meant to be at a certain place, it's time to let it go, especially with that number 19 on there, which adds up to 20. This is giving me like there's choices, right? And when I say it adds up to, I mean 1 plus 9. I said 20. You know what I mean? Like 1 plus, well, see, the thing is this, like I promise you I could do math. Something about 20 though, isn't that about approaching completion in terms of tarot? Hmm. Spirit is like telling me to say something because this is not what's on the card. This is a separate message, and that's why I got like, wait, what? I'm like, no, that doesn't make sense. I know how to do math. That doesn't make sense. No, because 1 and 9 is 10. I mean, and remember I said it represents completion. Thank you, Lati. Yes, thank you. I'm just like, wait a minute, that doesn't make sense. Like, no. But there's something about that number 20. And then when you break it down, it does add up to 2, which is about choices. So there's something about choices that need to be made. And like I said, that's just on the bottom of the deck. We didn't even start getting to the nitty gritty yet of what Spirit wants us to know. Like, that's wild. What? Hey, Barbara. Hey, Solo. Seeing some folks popping in. Love you guys. Love y'all. Does the math exactly when things are not making sense? It's like, whoa. Hmm. Yeah, see, like you see, like I said, like I promise you I could do math. Like it's like I literally teach kids math. So it's like we're working on counting money now and telling time. So I'm just like, I promise you I can do these things. It's just for some reason, like things got a little bit wonky there. Y'all saw that though, right? All right. Hmm. Conscious living. You know what's funny? Holy crap. Um, so as I'm looking at this, okay, let me read the card first. Those healthy changes you have been meaning to make are imperative for you now. I ironically enough, did almost do a self-care and self-love reading, but then I ended up asking Spirit. I was like, I did a quick little spread. I was like, Spirit, what am I being guided right now to read about? Because sometimes like I don't know. Like I'll feel like I was laying down. I was just bullshitting around on my phone watching Gordon Ramsay insult videos on Facebook and shit. And looking at some of the food and being like, damn, that steak looks really good. That lobster risotto looks excellent. I want that shit in my life. But then something else in me was like, you should be doing something a little bit more important right now. Maybe you should be doing a reading. And then I was just like, and I just sat up. I turned on the light because I was just sitting in the dark, or laying in the dark rather. And then I sat up and I was just like, I don't know. And I'm looking at the decks and I'm just like, what am I being drawn to do? So like I said, it was like kind of giving me like a self-love, self-care because I haven't done one of those in a while. And then I was like, I took my tarot deck and I was just I sprayed some Palo Santo and some sage and I was like, let me just see what spirit's asking me to look into. And then a lot of stuff about like money was coming in and I'm like, those don't usually do so well on this channel, just being honest. So I was like, tell me a little bit more. And then they were like, and then it was giving me like the Empress and all this stuff was popping up. And I'm just like, so it was a little bit deeper than just money. It's like, what are you meant to do to build yourself up? And that was one of the things that came up. We're building something big here. This is not just your regular schmegular job type shit. Like you guys are about to do something huge. And I know I'm like kind of rambling here, but there is an emphasis on like this, healthier lifestyle kind of thing too. Health is wealth. And, they are kind of merging together. I think you guys are making healthier choices for yourselves in different areas. So like I'm picking up on somebody who might be going through a lot of mental health issues and stuff like that because of the fact that they hate their fucking job and they're like, I have to get the hell out of here. And it's starting to maybe even have physical ramifications on your body. I understand that for sure. So it's like there is this dynamic here where you have to factor in a few different things. It's not just, oh, I want to live in my purpose. It's also, I want to fucking be alive. Okay? Like, I want to be alive. Oof. That got me right there. I want to be, oh, Don't start crying. Nope, we're not gonna do that. Sorry. I keep hearing I want to be alive. Okay. I'm sorry, guys. Okay. I'm sorry. Trying to get it together. Okay. Bottom of the deck we have thank your lucky stars. It says as you fuck. I can't. Oh, fuck. I can do this. Okay. Thank your lucky stars. As you begin to count your blessings, more and more blessings will come. Oh, God. Okay. All right, Spirit is also. Okay, sorry. Spirit is wanting me to put an emphasis on people who might be having like I can't even get the word out. Suicidal ideations. You are worthy, you are loved, and you are safe. You are worthy, you are loved, and you are safe. That's heavy. You are worthy, you are loved, and you are safe. That might be a mantra or something you could say to yourself. Or an affirmation. Wow, I didn't think this was going to be this hard to do. Holy crap. Okay, I got this. Manifesting magic. You are creating life based on the intentions, the intentions you send out into the universe. Okay, I got this. I can do it. I can do it. I think the reason why suicidal ideation was really hard for me this today is because I faced it myself and attempted it more than once. And also, on my dad's side of the family, I lost two cousins to it. So that grandfather who I connect with when it comes to this deck, he's showing up. So that's what I'm like, somebody really needs to hear that. You are worthy, you are loved, and you are safe. There's a reason why I got connected to this deck when I was picking decks for this reading. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. The challenger. Your relationships could be challenging you in a very painful way. So I'm getting that. I heard the void. If the relationships in your life are making you feel a sense of like darkness and angst and emptiness, like you gotta start understanding what you need to do with those relationships, because not everybody's meant to be in our lives, whether we are super connected to them, like whether it's familial or work related, romantic, friends, family. Like sometimes we have to accept things for what they are, and if it's starting to deplete you, then you have to do what's best for yourself. Freedom of soul expression. Wow. And it was in the reverse in the deck when it came out. You may be holding back from expressing yourself out of fear of losing or upsetting someone around you. It's in the reverse for a reason, because they want there to be an emphasis on the fact that you can't live for others. And if you guys have been feeling like you've been, living for other people too long, you can't do that anymore. How is that for clarification? And then what Lati was saying, judgment. I ain't even do nothing yet. I ain't even shuffle no cards. Wow. Shit. I saw the Four of Wands while I was shuffling. The Devil. Four of Wands. Ten of Swords. Alright. Okay. I think for this, I'm going to do a Cross of Truth. And then we'll dive a little bit deeper in some other decks as well. I hope I didn't lose too many of y'all yet. Too many of you guys yet. Oh, goodness. This is probably one of the hardest readings I've ever done. And when I initially did this, like, I felt like, I'm going to do this reading, blah, blah, blah. Like, I felt so inclined to do it and positive. And not to say that it's not a positive message, because it still technically is. This is meant to, like, reach the right people who are trying to figure this all out and guide them. Like, what spirit, the Most High, whatever you believe in, the universe, so on and so forth. This is about guidance, right? But it's also that part, that narrative that's like, when you're trying to let go of certain things, certain people, certain behaviors, so on and so forth. Excuse me. It becomes very difficult, and it's like, you know, sometimes you don't know where you are. And you're just like, what the fuck is all this shit? It's so confusing. Like, I know there's something bigger and more for me, but how do I get there? And, it's hard because sometimes we have to let go of, people we care about and things like that. And it's hard. We have to make better choices and decisions for ourselves. Our own decisions could be the thing that could be causing a blockage. Raise his hand. So on and so forth. Yeah, look, let's hear it after I, finish shuffling. But this is about overcoming these obstacles with success and victory, right? Tell us more. Whew. Like, I've done, like, childhood readings and all kind of stuff. Like, this is one of the hardest ones I've ever done. Wow. Like, everything was like fine all of a sudden. Like, it's just like a lot. The whole point of this reading is about career, right? Well, look what we have here. Eight of Pentacles. Yeah, it's like you guys are trying to like figure that all out, right? You're being patient as you navigate this part of your development, your growth. And a lot of it does have to do with like the work related stuff. It's like, okay, well, I know on one surface and area of things, like this is what I'm supposed to be doing. However, how does that translate into the 3D world of me having to work on it? Like, what does that look like? What does it feel like, right? And that's why trying to find, something within our niche is so important, because it's like, do you want to just be doing something that, you're on that hamster wheel for the rest of your life and you're miserable and you don't like what you're doing, you're not making enough money, so on and so forth. It's like, I don't think any of us want to be there, right? So what does that mean? What does it look like? Like, how do I get to that, that portion of my life where not only am I fulfilling my purpose, but also feeling comfortable here in this 3D. And I said the word comfortable for a reason. Like, not every, like, let's be honest with ourselves. One of the big themes that was showing up was about helping other people. You're not gonna make money doing that shit. Let's just be honest with ourselves. Unless you have your own business or something, like, you're not gonna make money doing that shit. You know, even freaking in this day and age here in America, like, even social workers who need a master's degree and spent all that damn money to get their damn degree, they're making 55,000 a year if they're lucky, sometimes less. And it's like, hold the fuck up. So I went to school for all that time. I went to school for all that time to make this little ass bit of money. Like, with inflation and all that shit, no, don't start adding if you live in like places that, are super expensive, like Connecticut. I live in Connecticut. So it's like, the fuck? It's just like the math ain't mathin'. Like Lati said earlier, the math ain't mathin'. And it's like, but you still want to feel fulfilled in what you do, right? That's the hard part. You're not trying to sell your soul to the devil by just making a lot of money. Like, you want to do something that feels meaningful, but also is, going to provide you with a sense of comfortability at the same time. It's rough in these streets, man. Like, and that's where our judgment comes in, right? Like, what do I do, right? That's the whole purpose of this reading. Tell us more about this Eight of Pentacles here. Damn. And like, I know, like, I might have lost some people like earlier. I wasn't looking at the numbers or anything because I was like so like locked into that moment of what I was like picking up on, that empath shit. Oh, it's rough. Just people at their wits end and just so like depressed, and like I felt all of that. That was hard. Like I said, this is probably one of the hardest, if not the hardest, readings I've ever delivered, honestly. And I've done some deep ass topics, like, I've talked about like childhood trauma and stuff, even rape and things have come up on these readings, and I don't know why this one was so damn hard. But whew, I'm getting through it. I'm still here. And thank you guys for your patience and kind words throughout the process, because this was a rough one for me. What we got here? In a challenging position, we've got Nine of Cups. Yeah, exactly. It's like you guys are trying to figure out a way where you can do what you're meant to do, but also be fulfilled. And that is the hard part. That's the hard part. And it's like, where does that overall fulfillment come in? Because it's like there's always something lacking. And now, granted, I think that's about acceptance too. Like, you're not gonna always feel like, let's put it this way, there's always gonna be something like kind of missing in most cases, especially if you're working in like the helping field, which showed up a lot throughout this reading. Like, your money is always gonna be a little bit funny, I feel like. Not always, but like, there's things that you could figure out if you really like do your research. We talked about researching things earlier, looking within, your niche and things of that nature, of the things that you want to do, and so on and so forth. The education that you might need, or the experience, so on and so forth, right? But it's like, even then, it's like, so much work, Yes, sacrifices. What's funny? Where the hell is the... Oh, it is here. Fuck. See, the thing is, it was more like, because I had brought this deck out, and I was like, I don't think I'm gonna use it. But like, as I was just kind of like sorting through the... I kid you not, Lati, look. Because I was like, I'm not sure if I'm connecting to this deck just yet, but I'm gonna bring it with me over here, just as... You can't make this shit up. You can't make this up. So before I even like had a chance to... I'm happy I... See? Like, I was like, I'm not sure if I'm gonna connect with these cards, and then you came in and said that. And I remember seeing the sacrifice card, and I'm just like, yeah. I guess I was meant to bring out that deck. All right, Spirit. Tell us more. What's going on in the overall consciousness of the collective at this time when it comes to, understanding their truth and where they're being guided? Like I said, I'm very grateful for you guys. Exactly. Wow. Connected. Yeah, like, I'm just like, what the fuck? But yeah. Whew. Spirit, tell us more. Tell us more. I'm so happy I felt drawn to do this, because like, I wasn't sure where to go with it, to be completely honest. Yes, a lot of you guys are just not feeling fulfilled right now, and we talked about that. Four of Cups here, feeling a sense of, unfulfillment. You guys are very well aware of the fact that you're not happy in this area of your life. I did look up, and I saw 5335, and it's like, just like, damn, it's not just about money. That's the thing. It's like, it's deeper than that. Like, you just don't feel like you're doing what you're meant to do at this time. Like, there are certain little parts that you're like, ooh, this part is nice. Like, whether it's the money part, or like those little glimpses of hope I just heard. Like, where, let's say if you're working in like customer service, right? And you have like a really, like, whether you're doing like, you're on the calls with people, or you're face to face, and you just have those interactions sometimes, and they're really good ones, and you're just like, wow, this felt really good. Like, when the interaction is over, you're like, wow, that was actually a really good call, and you feel good, like, knowing that you helped somebody. We talked about this helping thing this whole reading, right? And it's like, that's the big thing. You guys want to help people, but you also feel like you're not doing it in the capacity that you're meant to do it in, or the facet that you're meant to do it in. And that's where the dissatisfaction comes in. So I'm getting that. Like, even myself, like, for those of you, again, if you know, you know, I work at a liquor store at my part-time job. It's just so funny how I work at a school. I work at a liquor store. Now, granted, I've been at that liquor store for going on 17 years, but the point of the matter is I've been teaching now for going on 7. So when I was like, shit, when I was in college, I would be, on the side of the counter doing my homework, reading papers and all that, highlight and writing my drafts for papers, and go home and type that shit up, and stuff like that. That was my life for years. But I say all that to make the point that sometimes we still get put in positions where, in situations where we're not happy with what we're doing, right? And as I look up, we did just have 5 people and 8 likes, as up to 13. And that number comes up all the time on this channel, the number 13. So it's like, just, that recognition, 55, 55, that recognition of knowing that there's change that needs to be done. And, there's this sense of, major changes and resolutions and death, rebirth kind of vibes, right? Because we're not where we want to be. And we know we're not where we want to be. Because there's that inner knowing, that calling within that is saying, nah, there's more for me. And not only is there more for you just in general, it's not just financial, but I think it's just in general. That Queen of Pentacles, she's like, look, I'm about my money, but I'm also very, very cognizant of the fact that I want to help others and give. So it's like, there's this interesting connection there between those two dynamics. Yeah, you feel very, very fired up at this time, a lot of you. Ace of Wands. And we talked about starting, actually it's here, starting something, a business possibly for some of you. Or just, again, if it's not like actually starting like a business or anything like that, it could just be like a new part of your career journey, that lines up with where you currently are in your spiritual journey, and what you're meant to be doing at this time, right? That calling, that inner knowing that there's something that you want to do that's different. And like I said, for the majority of you, it's something about helping other people, looking at things deeper, so that if they don't see it, you help them see it. I'm getting like shadow boxer type shit. Like, you guys are shadow boxers. I call my girl Allie all the time. I'm like, you're a fucking shadow boxer. Like, you help people see that shadow part of themselves and help them grow, right? You shine light on that shit, and then like that's how you use that, that, I don't like the word negative energy, but the dark energy, and you turn it into something positive and meaningful. When you are able to shine light on the dark and then help a person understand what that dark shit means, help them integrate that. We're not beating ourselves up for our dark side. No, that's not how it works. We take that shit and we put it together. We integrate that and we make it into a big package here, and it's our whole self, it's our whole being, and that is who we learn to love and embrace. Okay, so I hope that does make sense. Hey Demond, what's up, what's up, what's up, what's up? I'm loving the fact that my peoples are up in here. I've got some new folks too. I love you guys so very much. And like I said, for those of you who are new, if you haven't done so already, definitely hit that like button, subscribe, all that good stuff. And for those of you who have been rocking with your girl, welcome back. I really appreciate you guys and your continued support. You guys are the best. Or I was going to say amazing and the best at the same time, because hey, again, two things could be true at once, right? So I love that energy, and thank you for bringing it here into the collective and into the comments, in the chat, all of that. Like that makes me so happy. So I'm very grateful for all of you guys. All right, tell us more, what's going on, like maybe a little bit beyond the surface of the things that we know and or can see. I just heard motivations. Like, what are some of the motivations? Because a lot of times that's more like, you got to do some deep inner work to know what your motivations are at times. Yeah, that's the thing. It's like you guys feel out of balance, yeah. It's like I heard out of sorts. You feel out of sorts because it's like you've put a lot of time and effort into things that just don't make sense. It don't work. You know, you got this two of pentacles here. That's like that, you know, backwards and forwards energy. Like feel like you're in and out, right? But you've put so much time and effort into something. Seven of pentacles, you know, whatever that may be. It could be working at a place too long, or a belief system. It could be anything, right? And it's like, you know, deep down inside, you're realizing that you're not happy. You're just trying to figure out why. And the why is because you know that you've been putting in way too much effort and time into something that just doesn't serve you. Yeah, exactly. Three of pentacles here. So that's what it really boils down to. Yeah, it's time to move on, and you know it. Eight of wands. It's time to move on. Time to move forward. Get that sense of confidence within yourself. Say, fuck this shit. Queen of wands, right? You know, she's somebody who's very confident within herself and her choices. She knows what she wants, and she's all about it. And it's like, I think you guys are trying to get to that point because you know you're not happy where you are. This reading is really deep. I can't believe I was crying as much as I was earlier. Oh my god. Like I was like crying. Like I probably was like doing like the ugly cry on camera with like probably boogies in my nose, and I apologize, but this was heavier than I was expecting it to be. Tell us more. Let's get something about maybe like the recent past. Yeah, this was heavier than I was expecting it to be. I ain't even gonna hold y'all. There's some readings where I'm kind of expecting it to go that way, and there's those ones where it's like, whoa, that hit me from left field. The devil, yeah, exactly. Okay, that recent past energy, y'all letting that shit go. And it makes sense because like the first card that came out from the guiding light deck, the one I connected with like the way I did, that I have that energy from my grandfather showing up, and that I think that's part of it. Um, he's definitely pushing me to help people explore that inner part of themselves where there's the things that they know they have to let go of, hence the conscious living. And you guys know that you have to let go of some things, and I am going to possibly be like that person, that catalyst to maybe help you see that those changes need to be made, or give you clarification like, yes, this is what needs to be worked on. Because I'm not gonna hold you. There's times where I, you know, and I'm not like trying to give myself more credit than I should, but you know, as a reader, I've watched readings from other people where I got so inspired to do different things or make different changes in my life or whatever, and it's like I've cried watching readings. I was just telling me and YT from Tears and Wheat Tarot Show. Check her out, and same thing with Soul of a Man. Um, check them out. They're amazing at what they do. They're, you know, readers and or just very spiritual folks who, you know, are so inclined and just so gifted that like they neither one of them need cards. You know what I mean? Like they can read your ass if they need to. And they will tell you exactly what you need to know. But I say that to say, you know, me and Lati, we were speaking on the phone last night, and you know, I told her, I was like, look, girl, there are times where like, you know, we read at different times and we didn't get to check each other out, and our readings are so fucking similar, and we're just like, what the fuck, or like just a lot of the like an overlap of messages, and we're just like, whoa, that's crazy. Or watching each other's readings like in a live or whatever, and trying to comment real quick in the chat, and then the other person says something, we're like, fuck, I was about to type that. Like it's pretty bugged out and cool at the same time. Exactly. Yeah, so it's like it's amazing like when you start to connect with people who are part of your soul tribe. It's like, damn, that shit's wild. um so all I'm saying is this: when you start to like get really more inclined about yourself, the things that you need to do, the things you have to let go of, that intuition goes up, and you will like start to like manifest things. You're going to see things differently. You're going to meet people who are meant to be a part of your soul tribe and it's going to spark a, a sense of creativity in you, and it's just going to be like, whoa, yeah, exactly, King of Wands. Like, it's just, it's bound to happen that way. Yep, closing out those old cycles, closing out those old cycles that don't serve you anymore and moving forward, and that sense of growth and expansion. You're just be like, whoa, what the fuck? But this is a part of exactly what you're meant to do at this time. And the more that you hone in on that and realize it, I'm telling you, especially when it comes to like letting go of situations and people that no longer serve you. That's the big part here. Because there is this like energy of like heaviness to them feeling like I'm feeling like weight on my shoulders. Like, and it's not my boobs. Like, I mean, like literally I feel weight on my shoulders, like pushing down. And it's like, damn, it's heavy. That's a load to bear, and it's like, gotta release that shit, baby. Yeah. Freedom of soul expression. Okay. Whew. Let that get. I'm getting like, get that dirt off your shoulders, Jay-Z. All right, we got the Eight of Wands, Eight of Swords, and yeah, that's the thing. And Spirit is like, look, it's time. Like, as I'm asking Spirit, as I'm shuffling, so what's happening in the near future? What's happening in the near future that you guys can expect? They're like, you're moving past this shit. You're moving on. No more of that bullshit. Right? You've been stuck in your head for way too long. You're not. This is actually one of the cards that came up when I was trying to ask Spirit, what should I read about? This was one of the cards. That Eight of Swords energy, feeling stuck and confined in your circumstances because of a lot, and this one showed up too, because of a lot of disappointments and pain. Right? They're like, no more of that. You're moving on. You're moving past that. Stop it. Cut the shit. As I say, cut the shit. Look. The bottom of the deck, the Queen of Swords. Can't make this up even if he wanted to. I'm telling you. Yes, like all that mental confusion and shit. Seven of Cups, no more. You're cutting all that shit out. A lot of Swords energy here, by the way. Some of you might have Swords in, air in your chart, or it's just like kind of the energy you're in currently, as you're trying to kind of get fired up, like to go towards like where you're meant to be. Yeah, as you walk away. Eight of Cups. As you walk away from the things that no longer serve you, that's what you're in the process of doing. Anything else from this deck? Excuse me. Get one more from here, if possible, Spirit. Your price is way too high. You need to cut it. Oh man. I'm also getting like, I heard going solo. So for those of you, because we did get this energy of some folks who might be thinking about like starting a business and things like that. We have teamwork here. I'm getting more than one message. So I'm getting with it, because it's two cards that came out. We have the Three of Pentacles, but it also came out with the Nine of Pentacles. So one message that I'm getting, take it as it resonates, because it is a collective message. For some of you, you're meant to sever ties with a partnership, whatever that means. So if it's like a job or a business partnership, whatever the case, it's time to cut that shit out. You're all done. And it's going to yield some really, really positive outcomes when it comes to your finances and things like that. And it's going to be more in alignment with what you were meant to do in the first place. Getting that as one. It's going to allow for a sense of independence. The other thing I'm getting is they want you to partner up with the right people, work as a team with the right people, and that can also allow for some sense of financial stability and overall independent wealth. So I'm getting two different messages there, and it's going to be different for everybody, so please take the messages as they resonate. But guess what's on the bottom of the deck? The King of motherfucking Pentacles. He showed up also when I was asking questions. I'm like, what should I read about tonight? I think that's going to be my new strategy from now on. Like, overall message, get a few cards to give me a little bit of clarity about it, and then that might be how I start doing my readings, because that's what I did tonight. I didn't know where this was going to go. And I think that we got a lot of, great messages here. Mind you, all these last messages from the tarot, they're all pentacles by now. I mean, at this point, we have Five of Pentacles. So, you might have been feeling kind of stuck financially for a bit, and it's because you might have had the wrong partnerships or need to, leave a situation. I'm getting like that kind of stuff going on. But this is, again, we got Judgment here like 3 times. Not in the actual spread, but showing up that you guys have to, use your good judgment here. I heard, get on your good foot. Country motherfuckers. Some of you guys might have ties to the South. Like your family might be from down there. Your grandparents or your great grandparents could be from down there. I have ties to the country. No motherfuckers, country is book. I also just got like a taste for some. It's just because I'm hungry, but I just got a taste of. Oh my God, Spirit, really? Now y'all just making me look like a little fat ass over here. I mean, I am fat, but goddamn, really? Like I'm getting a taste of like some good old collard greens. Oh man, some cornbread. Oh man. Okay, Spirit is funny. I can't with y'all. I cannot with y'all. Okay, so I do have to. As soon as I said it, oh my God, or I was about to say it, all ones across the board. Right when I was about to say it, I do have to pee, guys. And I know that's like kind of TMI, but I am gonna go run to the bathroom. It's gonna take me like a hot second, okay? But I really do have to go. So I'm gonna just turn off the camera. I mean, you guys already know I have my Batman pajamas, but still, I'm gonna turn off the camera and I'll be right back in like less than 2 minutes, okay? I love you guys. Please be patient with me. Nature calls and I just have to go pee. So, yeah. Be right back. Plus, I want y'all to see my fat ass struggling to get off the couch. All right, friends, I am back. Hope I didn't lose too many of you guys. But if I did, it's okay. I understand. Time is of the essence. All right, let's see. Sorry, I really had to go to the bathroom. So the next deck that I wanted to read from for you guys is this one, my green money deck. I'm grateful for you guys for being patient. Those of you who did decide to stick around, grateful. All right, so let's do a few shuffles of the green menu deck, as I like to call it, because I don't remember what the official name of this deck is, but it's a good one. Couple more. Thank you, Spirit. Actually, one more. I feel like it should be one more. All right, there we go. What we got? Ooh, Crafter. That's kind of cool. All right, so we have Crafter here on the bottom of the deck, and it says, and then we have something about like building things and stuff. Like there was one about building something or whatever. And I mean, crafting, is it building per se? Yes and no. I mean, like most people probably think of like building like in a different way. But in this context, I mean, it kind of makes sense for this to be on the bottom of the deck. So I'm getting some folks might be like very artistic and like, like to, um, make things with their hands. Like I'm getting people who like make jewelry. I'm getting people who, yeah, jewelry is a big one. Some people might also like make clothing, which is pretty cool. Um, but yeah, things like again with your hands, sculptures, candles. Very cool though. Like if that makes sense to you, let me know in the comments. I did hear textile, so that could be a little bit more confirmation about people who actually like make clothing and work with fabrics. Very very cool though. But I'll read to you guys what it says on the bottom of the deck here. It says, there's something wonderful just waiting to be expressed with your hands. Exactly. Consider careers doing homemade items or some kind of craft project. Think of ways to generate money that no other has done before or try something new. I like that. And exactly. And I've been meaning to reach out to her because I want some of her pieces or for her to design a piece for me. She makes beautiful art. And she's just so great. Right? Um, but yeah, like I just love the fact that there's so many people within this, this community that, do so many cool things. So like, let her know, be like, hey, by the way, there was like something about your niche that showed up in that reading. Like, and she might be like, oh shoot, yeah, that message might have been for me. Like maybe she should be doing that stuff more. Yeah, and we were talking about like, building and all that stuff. Or rebuilding, like maybe starting from the ground up, not necessarily like, scrapping an idea completely, but just really rebuilding it and molding it and shaping it into something new. So I picked up on that way early in the reading. It was one of the first messages. So just saying. I know myself, I've been wanting to work on making candles. I just haven't gotten around to it. Success will find you. I love that. Success will find you. Yeah, I think that sometimes we're always trying to chase the bag and all that. Like, when you're where you're supposed to be at, all that stuff is going to attract itself to you, not the other way around. Okay? Like, it's going to come to you. You don't have to go after it anymore. That's that hamster wheel idea that a lot of us still have to this day. Okay? Exactly. You don't have to chase. You do not have to chase. Zombie life and all that bullshit. That's not healthy. Not sleeping because you're working like 3-4 jobs. Like, no. That's not a flex. And I'm saying that as somebody who's done it before. Like, I'm not knocking anybody. I hope people don't get offended by that, but like, that's not a flex. Like, no. Like, generate income in a way that again is meaningful to you and it aligns with your purpose, but also is like, like passive income. That's what we should be chasing after. If we're gonna chase after anything, I'm trying to figure that shit out for myself because I'm like, I have a lot of gifts and talents and things like that, and I'm like, there's got to be a way to fucking explore this more. So we have patience here. Some of you guys might have Sagittarius in your chart. Let me know in the comments. It says divine timing is at hand. It will require having faith while you are being shown the way. You may feel tired and out of balance card was, where's that card at? Yeah, it was within the, oh no, there it goes. Remember I said you guys might feel out of balance? Literally says balance on the card. Yeah, exactly. You may feel out of balance. The universe is forcing you to rest and recover. Exactly. Big one. Um, hmm. Just picking up on other energy, so bear with me. Um, like I'm getting like a lot of like Sagittarius vibes now. Like I'm seeing the Temperance card, even though it didn't show up in the reading. It briefly showed up like while I was shuffling, but it didn't show up in the actual reading from what I remember. But anywho, money may be slow in coming, and you might feel unsatisfied with your finances. Makes a lot of sense. And it came out with parenthood. Interesting. Spend more time with your inner child. And we talked about inner child earlier. I almost did an inner child reading. I thought about it. I was like, that or whatchamacallit, self-love and self-care. Like there was like a lot of like overlapping, and it happened in this reading. But anyway, I'm sorry. I over talk sometimes. I apologize. But again, spend more time with your inner child and reconnect with that young curiosity. I like that. Be curious. It's giving me, you know what I'm kind of seeing? I'm getting like Page of Swords energy. Like if you're familiar with tarot, which is all about curiosity. It's about, exploration and research. So I'm getting kind of something along those lines. Your patient, nurturing, and warm nature would make you a great caregiver or a parent. Don't forget to nurture and treat yourself while you work hard towards your own goals. So some of you guys might be parents, or they're just letting you know, like, make sure that during this process, this patience that you're practicing, right? The same way that you would want to be patient with like your child, right? Be patient with yourself too. Don't forget the importance of making sure that you give yourself that sense of grace as you explore these new opportunities and things like that, because it's very easy for us, as adults, especially as we start to get older, we're like, well, I gotta get things done like now, no, like, but at the same, while there is some truth to that, like, it's also important to just make sure that we give ourselves that sense of grace is what I'm kind of getting. Yeah, because like, you know, I'm getting that you guys are meant to be like motivators, and I said something about motivational speakers earlier, but I'm also getting like be your own, cheerleader and motivator in the process of all this. Like, again, like it's almost like the same advice that you would give like a friend or a loved one or something like that, where you're really kind and generous to them. Be kind. um, give that same kindness and grace to yourself is what I'm getting. Bottom of the deck, we have there is a skill you possess that needs to be shared with the world. Exactly. We talked about this earlier. Listen, for those of you who were here in the beginning parts of this reading, I literally said this. Consider a career in coaching, speaking, lobbying, activism, and mentoring. I said like 3 of those things. um, you may be in need of motivation yourself or needing inspiration. Wow. So that's confirmation about what I was, saying earlier. Let's get like 2 more from here. I have a few more decks to read from, and then we're going to be done. And for the last remaining ones, I might just do like maybe a couple from each, and that will be it. Don't want to overextend this reading. Plus, I'm hungry. Yeah, I could feel myself like slowing down a little bit. We have mistakes here. A past mistake left you financially insecure and unsure of what to do. Your current financial situation was your own doing. I could vouch for that. Accept responsibility for it. Learn from your mistakes and let it go. You will get through it. So for those of you who might be going through like a little bit of a financial hiccup, they're just letting you know, like, hey, shit happens and you will be okay. Right? So for those of you, for instance, if you need to like rebuild your credit or anything like that, consolidate debt, things like that, life happens. And don't beat yourself up. You will be able to get out of it. I know this is kind of a little bit of a somewhat separate message because like we're talking about like purpose and things like that. But now this is like more practical side of all this stuff and how it might impact you. So Spirit wants to make sure that there's emphasis on that as well. Because again, we are, spiritual beings that are also living in this very physical and 3D world. And life happens. Like we have no control over that, right? It would be so nice if everything was just like rainbows and butterflies and all that bullshit, but it doesn't work like that. So we have to be mindful and cognizant of what this all looks like to us in the real world, in this 3D world. All right, so we have 3 cards that came out together. Okay, so we have ask for help. That's hard. I ain't gonna hold you. It's very hard. Consider asking for help with regard to your financial problems. Look at your financial situation from a new perspective. You still have some resources remaining. So there is something that you might be able to do when it comes to that kind of stuff, if this resonates, this part of the reading anyway. And just, being able to, allow yourself to be accessible in that way, be vulnerable and allow for help to come in. Even if it's like asking people who you're close to for help, right? I myself, I can resonate with that. Like I was drowning at one point at a very overly priced apartment for a minute, and I did not tell my mom. And I was so depressed and like I was so stressed out. And finally I did end up asking her for some help, and she helped me. And it was rough because I hate asking for help. I'm the type of person, like, I like to keep everything like under wraps. I like to make it like everything's fine and all that stuff, even when things are not. And it was hard. And like, was here real estate, so we're talking about like something about home living too, right? But I'm just like, yo, this is not what I signed up for. Like, this is crazy. Rent went up, and you know all this stuff, and it's just like I did not want to ask for help, but I did what I had to do. I did what I had to do, and now I'm not ashamed to say it anymore. I live with my mom currently, and yes, I'm 40. I've been with her for a bit, and for what, like 3 years now. And I was really ashamed and embarrassed about it at one point. And now I realize, like, for what? Like, it's a whole like dynamic in this household where we all work together as a collaborative team. You know, she's got physical ailments and stuff that she didn't have before. So I came right at the nick of time. You know what I mean? Helping my brother as well. Like, if it weren't for me moving here, they would be fucked, and vice versa. So we're all working together. You know what I mean? Like, it's not anybody mooching off of anybody or anything like that. We're all working together, and I think this is an important message, because there might be people who get prideful about that kind of thing, or you know not thinking about how important family dynamics are when it comes to finances. There are so many. Okay, this is another very specific message. This is not going to resonate with everybody, so I'm just going to say it though. In the Black community in particular, we are like almost like trained at 18 years old, your ass is out the door. Tell me I'm lying. Okay, so a lot of us have been kind of conditioned within our community that you turn 18, you ain't staying with your mama and your daddy anymore. They gonna kick your ass out. And if they didn't kick you out, they're like, you're paying rent, you're doing this, you're doing that. Like, if you look at other communities, however, that's not a thing. Either they all live in a big ass house together and they're working together as a collaborative effort, or people who are a little bit more wealthy or something, like they'd be like, oh no, they stay with me until they get out of college, until they get their doctor's degree or some shit. It's fine. They don't gotta pay a dime. And it's like, I'm just saying, and that's a disconnect within and the disparity within the communities because us black folks, I'm just being honest here. It's not gonna resonate with everybody. My black audience will understand. If you know, you know. Um, you know what I mean? Like, I'm calling a spade, baby. Like, that asking for help shit, it always comes at a fucking cost. Hence why the pride and all that stuff comes in. It makes it really hard. And I'm happy that I am in a family at this time where that is not the expectation. So I think Spirit wanted me to let that be known for those of you who might be going through some type of stuff when it comes to the household. I'm not even going to read the whole card, but there's definitely something when it comes to the household. So either asking somebody to pay more when it comes to the income or not the income, like, but the resources needed to obtain or maintain rather a household and stuff like that. I'm getting something like that. Easy does it though. And then I'm also getting for those of you who are like trying to get a home, look into the right resources that work for you. Getting that as well. Wow, there's a lot of different shit going on here. But yes, you know, be mindful of like get rich scheme kind of, I mean, get rich fast kind of schemes and stuff like that. Don't want that. Yeah. Pay attention to details. Slow and steady. Slow and steady. One more from here, Spirit. Like I said, I know this message is like kind of weird. Like it's not gonna be for everybody, but I hope that it does reach at least the right people. I love this. Okay. We got 4 cards that came out. I'm gonna stop it here, not for the reading itself, but for this deck. And then I'm gonna pull from like maybe 2 other decks, and that'll be the end. All right, so we have health, and between like conscious living and health card, big emphasis, right? Some situation that needed resolution will be resolved and healed. I love that. Consider careers. I also like this. Consider careers in medical field, massage therapy, or any healing work. And I said that earlier too. It's time to replenish your energy and fully energize to prepare for what's next. Wow. Holy crap. And it came out with embrace the wisdom of the unknown. Yes. Like we all want to just, myself included, we all just want to be like in the know. Like what the fuck is happening? You know what I mean? Rightfully so. It's my life, right? Like I should know what's happening. But just understand like spirit's got you, right? Spirit is guiding you along the way constantly. You have mechanic here. Some of you, okay, I'm getting like either you work on cars or you need your car worked on. I can raise my hand on the I need my car worked on. I've disclosed on the channel more than once now at this point that my car got broken into twice in a matter of like just over a month. And I was like really afraid to really like analyze my car because I was so like traumatized by it. I went in there today. It seemed like it was okay, like it's drivable and all that. But then I realized like my windshield wipers don't work and stuff, and I'm just like, oh, come on, really? Now I have to get that fixed. So it's probably just like an electrical thing, but I'm just like, be fucking kidding me. Fucking assholes. I have a Hyundai. So anybody who has a Hyundai or a Kia, you might have already experienced this bullshit. It's not cool. But anyway. Men, what needs mending? It might be broken, but it's not a complete loss. Consider a career as a mechanic in automotive, aerospace, or a repair technician. And we also have you have the ability to easily fix your finances, but a sacrifice may be needed. So remember we talked about building something, Damn it. I wish that the card was still here. That was the first thing that showed up. It wasn't on the main spread, but it showed up as like this big thing for the overall message of the reading. Building something. So I was talking about building your finances from the ground up. And that's what the whole point of this deck is. It's all about finances. So I'm just like, wow, you guys are really, really like rebuilding. I'm getting like rebuilding credit and things like that. I will say this though: be mindful of and cautious of like those, you know, bait and switch kind of companies where they say, oh, we can offer you a low interest, Spirit's telling me to tell you guys this. Those, oh, we can offer you a low interest rate loan. And then all of a sudden you talking to them on the phone and you meet all the qualifications that they said. And then all of a sudden, oh, none of our folks want to work with you, but we have this program. And that program is a debt relief or any of that bullshit, resolution, any of that stuff. Don't do it. If you want to fuck up your credit real bad, go ahead, but don't do it. I would highly recommend not to do that because you have other options. Okay. Many opportunities are becoming available to you now or flooded by too many ideas. Do not get stuck in the doubt when an offer presents itself. Seize the moment. Create multiple streams of income. I like that. We're going to claim that last one. Multiple streams of income, okay? Let's see. I don't know why like my heart is like pounding. Like I'm chilling, like I'm not doing anything. All right. Well, I'm going to close out the reading by reading from this deck, which I haven't read from in a while. I don't even remember the name of it. It's like Sacred Messages or something like that. I forget, but I like it. Yeah, look. Freedom. That energy I already like just to begin with, right? So let's get like 3 cards to close out the reading. I had other decks here, but I think we got to the point. Especially based on where we are, like, in the reading, like, time-wise. Like, yeah, we definitely got exactly where we needed to be. Sorry, some of the cards are, like, facing the wrong way. This is rare. I'm pretty good with that, but... let's get 3 cards from here. Close out the reading. Focus. And the ironic part is that is the same card that was there when I split the deck. That's crazy as hell. Spirit's like, oh yeah, we're gonna make that known. Focus. Focus. Focus on these gifts and talents that you guys have and where you're being guided to go. Because everybody's going, you know, different directions and stuff. Everybody's got different stuff going on. But the biggest thing I think is the majority of you guys who do happen to resonate with this reading, you're meant to help others. Embrace that. Embrace it. Welcome that. Because I just saw leadership because it's flipped the other way. My cards are usually, I promise you guys, like my cards are usually always, you know, the right way. But for some reason, there's a certain, yeah, there it goes again. Leadership. Like, whew, man, that's wild. That's so wild. Mario says, woman, you don't know how to read the cards. Been doing it for a few years, but okay, sure. Got plenty of people who've said otherwise. Some of the best readers around too, by the way. But say whatever you want to say, Mario. You can also suck a dick. How's that? So probably already do that. Let's see. We have openness. So I'm getting openness to change. Y'all know I troll. Just like how they troll me, I troll them back. I be saying some shit. Should I be doing that shit to my students? Wait, what did my student said to me today? He was like, his favorite thing to say to me is like, oh, so I'm only gonna say bye to, like, he'll say all the other teachers other than me in the room because I work in a special needs room or whatever. So he'll say like all the other staff's names other than mine, right? Hey, she is. What's up, girl? And then I'd be like, wow. Well, you know what's funny, guys? I said this earlier too. I was like, I was like, you know what's funny, guys? So I actually only bring like ginger ale, especially like the cranberry flavored one that I know some friends like, and ice cream, especially cookies and cream ice cream, to friends that I know like it. So I was like, I'm gonna like make up names. I was like Benny, Henry, and Taj. I'm gonna bring some ice cream to you guys tomorrow, but I'm not gonna bring any for Ricardo. And then he's like, wait, what? And I was like, yeah, I only bring it to friends who actually want to talk to me and want to like, work with me and stuff. I don't need to talk to friends that don't want to talk to me. And it was just so funny. It's just like, oh, come on, bro. Let's get one more from here, Spirit. But it was so funny. All my staff were cracking up. They're like, yeah. And then he was like, oh, no, I was just joking. And then they were like, oh, so. And then even the head teacher was like, oh, so you only take it how, you can't take it how you did shit. And then we all were laughing. Like, that shit was so funny. And that's the motherfucking truth. Because the thing is, I love my staff. Like, that teacher talk stuff is so fun. Because it's like, we just like bounce off of each other or whatever and say stuff or whatever, and we like give each other like a look or whatever, like, oh, oh yeah, and then we go with it, and it's like a whole like dialogue, and then like the kids are like, wait a minute, like if you say something like, I love how so and so and so and so and so and so they are doing exactly blah blah blah, and like I did it today, actually. I was like, I love how Sebastian and John and Eli are doing so great right now, listening to Miss Karen. And then the other student who was not doing what he was supposed to do was like, what about me? And I just ignored him. I didn't say shit. Because he knew what he was supposed to do. Teacher talk is amazing. You could do this in real life, guys. There's times where I'm at the grocery store and someone's like way too close to me, and I'm like, I love how people around me are keeping a good social distance. And then, like, somebody who's not keeping like a social distance, they move back or forward or whatever. I do it all the time at the grocery store. All the time. It works. I'm just telling you. It's amazing. So, if you guys ever need, like, tips on, like, teacher talk, I got you. Because that shit works. And, like, people be like, wait, what? Including adults. Like, I'm doing something that I shouldn't be doing. Yeah, exactly. Get the fuck off my back. Especially during COVID. Oh my God, I did that shit all the time. But anyway. you guys know how I am right here. I start rambling. But nonetheless, what time is it? Oh, okay. I'm still doing pretty good for myself for the rest of the night. All right. Exactly, yes. Laughing, freaking reactions. Because sometimes we just have to do that, and again, that is the motherfucking truth. Excuse me. So with all that said, I love you guys. You guys are the best, and I greatly appreciate you guys as always. So now I'm gonna go eat because I didn't eat much today. I had a Cobb salad and that was kind of it. I know, pop on the hand. I didn't eat enough today, so I'm like starving. I do have some food though. So with all that said, like I said, I love you guys. Oh, and my girl Li's about to go live. Sweet. I could spend the rest of my night doing that. Oh, that's great. I love that. So, for those of you, if you're not already checking out my girl Tears and Wheat's Hero Show, aka La T, check her out because she's about to go live. So, yeah, check her out. And yeah, I will see you guys again probably on Saturday night, I think. I don't know what I'm going to read about yet. We shall see where spirit guides me. But until the next time, my loves, thank you for being here. Thank you for the support. If you haven't done so already, hit that like button, subscribe, all those good things that help support the channel. You guys are the absolute best. And yeah, I, like I said, I greatly appreciate you guys. I love y'all. And again, check out Lati because she's about to go. And also, She Radio, she has her channel that she's building up. Check her out too. She be like trying to like be in the cut. I'm gonna put you on blast now, girl. She's building up a channel as well, so check her out too. She Radio. I call her She Is, but yeah, like because that's what I used to see her name as, and I'm just saying, check her out too. She Is. So you guys, again, have a great rest of your evening. I love you guys. Mwah. Till next time. Bye.